Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ray Taylor. Welcome to a new episode of The Ray Taylor Show. This episode, I'm going to be asking a very important question. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you be my neighbor? I went and saw a documentary the other day. Some may call it the Mr. Rogers documentary. You know? You could call it there is a different Mr. Rogers documentary, I believe, on Amazon. This is not what I'm talking about. The documentary is called Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's very good. You should definitely go see it. As far as in contrast to everything else that you will see in theaters, on the news, most things in our culture and our world are very negative, very depressing. This documentary easily could have gone in that direction if Mr. Rogers had been a pedophile or, you know, any of those things, you know, maybe masturbated in front of some women that didn't give him their consent. But he didn't. This is not a documentary about how horrible Mr. Rogers is. It is a documentary which fulfills your belief and your hopes that good people can exist. So it's a documentary, covers the life of this guy, and who started off, he was a very sick child, and, you know, was not adjusted very well. So I think because of his being sick as a kid, he has a lot of compassion for children, and at one point was studying to be an ordained minister, and saw the TV, the new communication tool called television. Broadcast television had started. TVs had, starting to populate people's homes. And he wanted to produce, he thought that was going to be the best way for him to communicate to young children more than any other means that he could have, just being a priest. So he became a part of a public broadcasting network and started Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and did like these local shows, did in-person shows of small groups of children, and he was like the child whisperer, just like Cesar Millan is to dogs as Mr. Rogers is to kids. He understands them, they understand him, they can communicate, they can discover a common wavelength of mental ability, and it's magical. It's magical to see it. It's a movie that I had heard is good. For people, it can be very emotional. For me, I found a few of the trailers more emotional than the movie or the documentary itself. But I was also going into it expecting to be emotional, so I think I overcompensated what I thought my emotions would be watching this documentary. And it covers how certain presidents, like Nixon, wanted to cut funding of public services like PBS, and how Mr. Rogers was able to communicate with the politician on the importance of what he did and why he does what he does. So it's a really uplifting, good documentary. Even though he was very religious, he was one of the most open-minded, and he was also Republican. He was one of the most open-minded individuals despite his political beliefs. He was non-judgmental about people that were a part of the crew of, the show. Because, a lot of people in show business, they're going to be homosexual. They're going to live alternate lifestyle. They're going to smoke the marijuanas and drink the alcohols and do all the things that Satan would want them to do to enjoy life. And but Mr. Rogers never, Fred Rogers, I think his name, he never really brought religion specifically into, he never like preached or quoted any of the verses in the Bible or anything like that. But very similar to what, pastors do in churches, where they use the Bible and then they go off on their own. Like, this is what we say the story is about. And it's usually a good moral story. But yeah, it's a great documentary. What can I say? If it's available in your area, go see it. I just watch it, knowing that you're not going to come out of it feeling depressed about our culture or our society. It almost gives you hope in a way that there are other people out there that could give their life to trying to do good in the world. And even though he happened to come from a religious background, my thoughts on helping other people has nothing to do with religion. I think religions use a lot of that as kind of PR. Like, look, we're not so bad. We help people. Meanwhile, we, kind of force you to believe in our shit, or else it's like high school, but with religion. You won't be going to that church if you don't fall into whatever specific version of bullshit they're into. So despite Mr. Rogers' faults, it's a great documentary, so go watch it. There's not a whole lot to say. It's just, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good. Go watch it. Everybody needs to feel good. So thank you for watching this episode of my show. Check me out on social media at Ray Taylor on Twitter, and of course Ray Taylor on Instagram, where you're watching this. Please check out my artwork and other things over at inspireddisorder.com. If you want exclusive content and you want to find out what that content is, go to patreon.com/inspireddisorder. That's patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Help me out. Check it out. You get a bunch of cool shit, bunch of special features, and you help support me. I think I'm a pretty good guy. I try to help people, and I don't do it because of the Lord. I don't do it because I think I'm going to get tenfold in return or a spot in heaven. I just do it because I like to be a good guy, and it's nice to help people. So thank you for watching. Peace out!